Hey, it's Buddy Lee. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at War 9 of Season 33, and for this war, we're facing GT40. We had by far our worst performance of the season against GT40 earlier this season, and they're the top war alliance, so it's going to be a big challenge. I'll be using a team of Tigra, Kitty, and Odin for this war, and I have 9 fight assignments, so it'll be a busy war for me. To start things off, I'll take Path 3 in Section 1, so first up will be Tigra against the Champion. I use Odin pre-fights because they're going to be useful in a couple fights here, but they're really going to be useful and fun for my Section 2 fights. The Champion has Hit Me I Dare You and static defense, as well as being an unstoppable armor global defender, all of which Tigra can shut down, but if we do end up getting a shock on us, we have the Odin pre-fights. So we're gonna bait and counter some heavies until we get to Tigra's SP2 and finish this guy off. It's a very simple fight for Tigra. The blocked hit gets us to 2 bars of power, so we back up and launch the SP2 and we're done. Next up we have Kingpin, which we'll be using Kitty for, and this fight is not too bad, but you have to be very aware of the unstoppable armor global because of the ionized armor node, which will provide Kingpin an armor buff each time that he throws one of his specials, giving him a chance to go unstoppable. Also, Power Focus 2 means that he'll be getting back to his specials very often. We land an early intercept, and this gives us our 3 prowess to begin phasing. After his special 1, I go in for just 1 hit because we have time to do that before the potential unstoppable triggers. This also helps us keep from getting backed up into the corner. Now Kingpin decides he wants to be passive, and it takes a little while to get him to throw his SP1. After he finally throws it, I throw Kitty's SP1 so that we can build up our temperature for the eventual SP2 finish. We get backed up into the corner, but I'm very close to being able to throw my SP2 and get out of here. I wanted to throw it here, but he throws his SP1, so I can't. So I wait for an opening and just throw it unfazed, which does plenty of damage to close the show. Next up is node 20, and this is usually Man-Thing here, but this time we have an Eye-Hulk instead. Tigra handles Eye-Hulk very well though, so this should not be an issue. I activate a Power Start 1 boost since with this node you want to get out of the fight quickly so that static defense and strike counter fury don't become an issue. We land 2 heavies and then I go right into our SP2. And following that, I counter Eye-Hulk's SP1. And then throw Tigra's SP1 for the quick and easy finish. Next up we have the right side shared fight, and it's Black Panther Civil War. I've never taken this fight and I was assigned to use Kitty. I think Kitty would be okay here, but with the global I was thinking that it would be very slow and Black Panther would be going unstoppable a lot, so I asked to take it with Tiger instead. So this fight is potentially also very tough for Tiger as well, because defective defense means that I can't block to bait heavy attacks. It will place a disorient, reducing ability accuracy and block proficiency, and also Blood in the Water will give him a big fury, so we need to do this without blocking. So I shell up with block immediately, and he cooperates with a heavy attack right off the bat. I then dash right in and land a combo and throw SP1 to push Black Panther against the wall. I'm using SP1s because I want to keep control of this fight without ever needing to block, and also keep up the neutralize as much as possible. Then we're able to build back to SP2 after those SP1s. I was pretty happy with this fight as it's a very tough matchup with the nodes. We executed it perfectly and it actually looked easy. Now we're taking path 8, and this is the rich get richer path, which is where those Odin pre-fights really come in handy and make these fights a total joke. First up is Annihilus. We dex and counter to get our first opening, and then bait the heavy to counter that. This gives us our SP2, and we throw that. The rich get richer lets us cycle right back to another one, which is great. I didn't realize just how silly Tiger would make these fights seem. Now we have Colossus, and this fight's going to be much of the same. Another back-to-back SP2 finish. Now we go on to Boss Island, and we're taking this Cersei on missing in action. We parry and land a combo to start, and then try to bait out heavy. She's pretty slow to throw it, but does right before she would have been able to activate glancing. Now we counter her SP1, and this gets us just shy of an SP2, but the SP1 is enough to end this fight. Next up is Mangog on Hazard Shift, and this fight was assigned for Kitty, but I really didn't feel like I could pull it off with no practice here and not being able to find any footage of it being done. I asked to be taken off of it, but we couldn't find a torch with pre-fight to take the fight. In the end, we decided to just go for a Tiger nuke. So the plan here was to bait and counter 3 heavies from Mangog and then throw SP2. After that, 1 more heavy counter should put us back to another SP2, and hopefully this will be enough. So the AI in this fight was not really cooperating at all. Mangog keeps throwing double mediums into the block, and after my senses start dwindling down, I throw the first SP2. After the SP2, I bait another heavy and then go to counter, but unstoppable armor triggers and he dashes out of the counter. Tiger's senses have almost expired, so I go into another SP2 here, and this still isn't enough to finish him off. We'll need 1 more. 1 more heavy counter and I might be able to get to another SP2, but I'm checking his power level to see if this will push him to SP3, and I'm slow on the counter. He takes this chance to throw his SP2 and we get finished. So we got stuck in a bad situation with having Tigra take this fight, and the AI was super annoying, but I still feel like I could have pulled that out if I wasn't slow on the final heavy counter, which I was super frustrated about. So we healed up Tigra and got back in to finish off this Mangog. The last fight is going to be against the Thing boss, and hopefully we can get some level of redemption after that last fight. I'm not super aggressive in this fight since I don't want to compound my death with any more mistakes afterwards. The main thing is I don't want to leave Thing at 15 stacks when he has less than a bar of power. So a pretty standard Thing boss fight for Tigra, and we get the easy solo. So besides that one fight, we had an awesome war, but that one fight did hurt, and it was my second death of the season. Unfortunately, we did lose this war to GT40. We had 4 deaths to only 1 for them. So it wasn't a bad performance for us, but they really killed it. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.